Here is a list of some of the most haunting live stream moments that were captured by viewers. From publicly swatted and publicly humiliated in front of thousands, to the masterminded, brutal killing of an ex-girlfriend. These are some of the most traumatic live streams that would make you shudder. Let's dive in. Vote Saxon 07. In December 2022, 32-year-old Natalie McNally was found brutally murdered in her home in Lurgan, North Ireland. She was 15 weeks pregnant at the time and had been stabbed 15 times. This mindless, brutal crime scene sent shockwaves across the whole country and, of course, became a priority in the police investigations. At the time of her death, Natalie was in a relationship with Stephen McCullough, a Northern Irish man who was quite popular for his YouTube channel, Vote Saxon 07. For all intents and purposes, Stephen was the perfect gentleman. He had a successful channel where he reviewed gadgets and uploaded mostly nerdy and tech-related content. He was a bit quirky, charismatic, and had quite a following in the British geek genre. So when his girlfriend was found dead, there was absolutely no reason to suspect him. In fact, the police arrested a man but released him shortly after because they had no evidence or motive, and the attack felt extremely personal. But then on February 2023, the police made a shocking announcement. Stephen McCullough had been arrested and charged with the murder of Natalie McNally. It all started when the police discovered CCTV footage showing Stephen around Natalie's area driving around suspiciously. Then they found a burner phone that he had used to create Reddit posts and send anonymous messages related to the case. Plus, on the night of her death, Stephen claimed to have been live streaming on YouTube, but it turns out that was all fabricated. The stream was actually pre-recorded and not live at all. It was played from a looped media file, so there was no real-time interaction. And when they accessed the metadata, it showed he had faked the entire stream.
What are we doing tonight? Well, because this streaming software is kind of up the left, it means I can't check the live chat, which is a real shame. So, by all means, talk amongst yourselves. I could use my phone to dip in every now and again and check it, but I've decided that I kind of hate live streams.
Apparently, while the video played to his audience, Stephen left his house, drove to Natalie's, and killed her. As of 2023, he has been charged with her murder and is still awaiting trial. Akihabara Massacre. Akihabara is a bustling shopping district in Tokyo and is popular for anime, electronics, and video games. It was always packed full of people, especially during pedestrian heaven hours when the streets are closed off to cars. This was what made the massacre that occurred on June 8, 2008, one of the most shocking acts of mass violence to ever occur in Japan. The assailant, a 25-year-old man named Tomohiro Kato, rented a 2-ton Isuzu truck and drove it into the Chuodori, the main street that was packed full of people. He ran down 5 people, and 3 of them instantly died. Then, after crashing into a light pole, he came down from the vehicle, went into the crowd, and immediately started stabbing people with a double-edged dagger. In just over 2 minutes, he had successfully stabbed over 12 people, and 4 more died instantly. This brought the death toll to 7, with 10 others in serious, life-threatening conditions. Eyewitnesses described the whole thing as pure terror, as people were screaming and dropping down dead with blood all over the pavement. When the police around the area arrived with bicycles as soon as they could, Kato dropped his knife and surrendered immediately. The entire spree, from the truck killing to the stabbing, literally lasted for just 3 minutes. 3 minutes of horror that stole the lives of 7 people and left several families shattered. When he was arrested by the police, the first thing he said was, "I came to Akihabara to kill people. I'm tired of life. Anyone would do." Kato was tried and found guilty of murder and attempted murder in 2011 and then sentenced to death. In July 2022, after years on death row, he was finally executed by hanging. It was a truly tragic experience for everyone involved, and this next story, sadly, isn't any better. Facebook stabbing. At exactly 5 p.m. in San Rafael, California, police were dispatched to the apartment of Tonantzin Oris Beltran. Multiple calls had been put through to 911 after viewers witnessed Tanatzen brutally stabbing her mother on Facebook Live. The 28-year-old woman had stabbed the 55-year-old Olivia Lucia Beltran Pacheco multiple times in the torso with her pocket knife.
Rafael woman accused of stabbing and killing her own mother. Police say that she streamed the attack on Facebook Live.
When the police arrived, they found her at the rear balcony standing over her unresponsive mother, completely drenched in blood. Olivia was immediately rushed to the hospital, but unfortunately she died from the blood loss. As for Tanatzen, she was arrested immediately and taken to the police station. The craziest and possibly the most disturbing part of this horrific crime is the fact that the stabbing was live streamed on Facebook by Tanatzen herself. She even continued streaming even when the police arrived. In fact, earlier that day, the young woman had visited the Santa Rosa Police Department to get her impounded car and created a TikTok there. In that TikTok video, an officer was heard commenting that she looked like someone with a mental issue and asked if she needed help. Later at the court hearing, Tanatzen entered an insanity plea. However, the judge has ordered a psych evaluation to determine if she is fit for a trial or should just be sent to a mental health institution. The police are still working to piece together a motive, but as of now, Tanatzen is still held in lockup awaiting her psychiatric evaluation. Ishowspeed swatted. On August 8th, 2022, Darren Watkins Jr., a popular YouTuber and streamer known as Ishowspeed, was on YouTube Live when a SWAT team busted into his home.
Oh yeah, good call.
Sorry, you're doing this on your own.
Yeah, I'm walking dead after this. Oh wait. Chilling.
Apparently, they had received a call claiming that there was a violent threat at his address. Speed's live stream was still rolling when the authorities entered his home in full gear and handcuffs. The young man was visibly confused and scared and repeatedly asked what he did wrong. Viewers could hear his fear and confusion off camera while being escorted outside. A friend who was also in the house at the time of the arrest filmed some of the aftermath and uploaded the footage, and it immediately went viral on YouTube and TikTok.
It's overwhelming, right? Yeah, it's just a streamer slide. It's a streamer slide.
You think they tried to trick you?
Yeah, this is streamer slide.
While he was led outside, one officer mentioned that they received a call reporting a violent situation at his address, even though Speed didn't have any idea what they were talking about.
And I get
that was going to kill their entire family with a Glock 19.
Yes. This game, I'm just a streamer game. I stream games, yes. Fortnite, Valorant, Apex, this all.
After investigating the building and searching the premises, the officers verified that there was no threat and that the whole thing was a false report. Speed was released, but by then the whole incident was already exposed. Viewers online pointed out that the young streamer was unfortunately a victim of swatting, a dangerous online prank that involves making a fake call to the authorities with reports of violent crimes like hostage situations or bomb threats. The entire point would be to have a SWAT team deployed to that address, often while the person getting swatted is live on stream. And yes, it's highly illegal, and has tragically ended lives in the past. Speed later addressed his fear and how traumatic the whole incident was, calling for a better punishment for people who swat. Dum Dum Gs, dine and dash. Imagine being homeless and struggling to feed yourself when someone suddenly offers to buy you lunch. You'd be pretty excited, right? Well, that's exactly how Mabel felt when a popular streamer on Kick called Dum Dum Gs offered to take her on a date. So on October 24th, 2024, he met up with Mabel and took her to a really fancy restaurant where they ordered food and got some drinks. Everything cost about $76 and was all live streamed for the thousands of viewers online. Now here's where things go from cute to really pathetic. After the meal, it was time to pay, but instead of picking up the tab, Dum Dum Gs claimed he forgot his wallet in the car and was going to get it.
76. Oh no.
Oh no. Okay. Fuck. My car. I think I left my wallet in my car. Fuck. I'll be right back. All right. Hold on.
This guy gets up, packs up his stuff, goes outside, and gets in a taxi. Yeah, he literally leaves Mabel there with a $76 bill and no money. What's worse was how funny he thought the entire thing was, and of course he was live streaming. The moment was captured and immediately went viral on every single platform. People were outraged and called his actions wicked and callous. Kick's founder Bijan Tirani called the prank pathetic and banned Dum Dum Gs' account from Kick. Later, he finds Mabel and offers her $50,000 as compensation. Dum Dum Gs would later come on X, where he posted a video titled The Truth. In it, he claimed that Mabel was aware of the prank and had already been paid to act along. Still, it doesn't remove the fact that it was an extremely exploitative, tone-deaf act made solely to take advantage of someone who was obviously in need. Something that you can do that's not exploitative is supporting our channel and hitting that subscribe button. Let's continue. Jack Dherty car crash. Jack Dherty is a US YouTuber and ex-Kick streamer who is very popular for his stunts, pranks, and out-of-pocket jokes. He was literally one of the most popular, and as of 2025, he has over 15.3 million followers on YouTube, with 6.27 billion views in total. Then on Kick, before his ban, he had over 114,000 followers. Another thing he was very well known for was driving really fancy, expensive cars. So, on the 5th of October 2024, he was driving his custom McLaren 570S, which cost about $200,000 to $300,000, in Florida. It was raining that day, so the roads were wet, but there was one problem. Jack was live streaming on Twitch with about 185,000 people watching. A couple of minutes into the stream, they noticed that Jack kept looking at and texting on his phone. He appeared distracted, and the car took a swerve and literally crashed into a metal guardrail. It was a disaster. The entire front part of the car was entirely crushed and destroyed. Luckily, Jack didn't sustain any injuries and managed to come out. However, it was a different situation for the friend, because he suffered a hit to the head and appeared disoriented.
Oh, no, my f***ing car, bro.
Vamos, baby. Vamos,
Oh.
Que estás bien.
Dude, my f***ing car.
But instead of helping his injured friend immediately, Jack was more concerned about his car and continued recording. He even kept asking passerbys to record. The footage immediately caused an uproar online as critics slammed him for his irresponsible actions. His account was immediately banned on Kick, and the Florida Highway Patrol issued a citation for distracted driving. Other influencers and fans on social media called him reckless and commented on how close the accident was to a serious tragedy. Influencers live crime. It was a very sad and disturbing day in Gradačac, Bosnia and Herzegovina on August 11th, 2023. A popular bodybuilder and influencer named Nermin Sulejmanovic posted on his Instagram story that anybody who tuned in by noon to his live would witness a live execution. And by approximately 11:57 a.m., 12,000 people were already watching. His video showed his ex-wife, Nizama Hachimovic, beaten brutally. Her face was swollen and severely injured while Nermin accused her of not letting him see their child and reporting him to the police. He then walks up to her and shoots her point blank in the head. The poor baby could be heard crying in the background. Nermin then walks out to the street and shoots 2 more people dead, a father and son who were just taking a walk. He moves on from there, fatally injuring 3 more people at different locations around Gradačac. The camera then shows 2 more videos during the spree, which Nermin also claimed responsibility for. At one point, this psycho even stopped at a gas station to fill up his car, saying he had warned people a day like this would come. The police finally managed to locate him at a farm just outside the city and had him cornered. At this point, Nerman turned the gun on himself and committed suicide. It was a horrible, horrible tragedy that sparked an outrage across the country and, honestly, the world. Livestream torment of a disabled man. Sometimes we witness some actions that are truly horrifying, and the event that took place on January 3rd, 2017 can be counted as one of such actions. This evil began when an 18-year-old male who had schizophrenia and ADHD was picked up from a school by a couple of his friends. They were all young adults by the names of Jordan Hill, Tisfaye Cooper, Brittany Covington, and Tanisha Covington. According to the news, the victim knew Hill, as they were friends from school, so when Hill asked him to hang out, the boy had nothing to worry about, or so he thought. The abusers tied the disabled boy up, cut his clothes, scraped his hair with a knife, burned his skin with cigarettes, and then forced him to drink toilet water, all while screaming slurs like, "Fuck white people, fuck Trump."
On Facebook. In the video, we are blurring the victim's face. Authorities say an 18-year-old mentally challenged white man is targeted. He can be seen cowering in a corner as he is assaulted by 4 young black adults.
Look out! What's worse is that these abusers streamed everything on Facebook Live. Yes, the entire 30 minutes was broadcast for the public and the internet exploded. The poor boy was bleeding, scared half to death, and forced to crawl around and obey humiliating commands.
Described as mentally challenged, had been missing for 2 days when he turned up Tuesday on Facebook and in trouble. Forced to drink from a toilet. He's also seen being kicked.
When the police found him, the boy had been held and abused for 48 hours.
A tank top, inside out backwards. He was very discombobulated. He was injured, he was confused.
It was psychological torture, and the entire world was forced to witness it firsthand. Ultimately, the cops captured the 4 abusers, and they were hit with serious charges, including aggravated battery, aggravated kidnapping, hate crime, and unlawful restraint. Brittany Covington received 4 years of probation because the judge believed jail would not help her with reform. Plus, she also pleaded guilty and helped the prosecutors secure better convictions for the rest. While the rest were sentenced to prison for 7 to 8 years. Oceanannes' tragic live stream. In Aigle, France, a small town south of Paris, an 18-year-old girl named Oceanne Rosemarie, popularly known as Oceanne, went live on Periscope, a live streaming app that was quite popular in 2010. Now, going on live wasn't really unusual for the teenager, as she had her own modest social media presence and a reasonable following. According to her fans, her content was described as bubbly, exciting, and open. However, after what happened on May 10th, 2016, it was obvious the young girl was going through some serious emotional and psychological pain. When she started the live stream, she seemed to be very calm and composed, almost disturbingly so. This was very different from her usual videos, but nobody noticed anything wrong. At least, not yet. But then, things took a really disturbing turn when she told viewers she wanted to send a message. According to her, people needed to open their eyes. She then added that she had been a victim of abuse and hinted that the abuser was someone close. She sat in front of the camera for a while talking to her viewers, then described her abuser as dangerous and evil. The entire footage was very scary and honestly just felt like a goodbye message. Then the camera cuts to a different angle and shows a train station next to her. The next few minutes are unthinkable to comprehend because as viewers watched, the girl walked to the Aigle train tracks and just stepped onto them as a train approached. Even though the exact moment wasn't captured, the horrific sound of what happened next was heard loud and clear before the stream abruptly ended. While the video was removed immediately from the app, viewers had already taken videos and screenshots of the incident, and it spread like wildfire. French police later opened an investigation into her death and into her claims of assault, which they assumed were directed at a man she had dated in the past. He was brought in for questioning, but the case was never pursued or At least nothing has been released to the public yet. Oceanannes' death was ultimately ruled a suicide. Ice Poseidons bomb threat incident. In April of 2017, IRL was seen escorting a popular streamer called Ice Poseidon off a commercial plane.
Personality, somebody who streams video online, says it was a bomb threat and it was a prank. He says he was the target.
He was being treated like a potential terrorist, and this was because just before boarding, the guy was live streaming on Twitch to share his experience and mistakenly flashed his flight gate number. Now, this small innocent detail was used to commit a very dangerous crime, because moments after takeoff, the flight was suddenly grounded in Phoenix, Arizona. Apparently, the authorities had received an anonymous 911 call claiming that there was a bomb on the plane and that Danino had brought it in. He was removed from the flight in front of 200 confused passengers and questioned thoroughly by the FBI. They searched the entire plane, but no explosives were found, so it was soon very clear that the whole situation had been a mistake.
So this was the man who was taken off the plane, Paul Danino. ABC 15's John Erickson talked to him over the phone just in the last 15 minutes.
He had been swatted at the airport. Danino was eventually cleared of all charges, but the damage was already done. Twitch banned his account the next day on grounds of violating the terms of his account and exposing private information. While some people online claimed the ban was very unfair, the streaming platform still viewed the incident as high risk, especially because of how bad and serious swatting has gotten in the streaming world. What's worse is that Danino kept being targeted even after his account got banned. Police officers have stormed his home on so many different occasions, usually with armed weapons drawn. For some malicious reason, he was still getting swatted, and these unfortunate events took a toll on his mental health. He later admitted that he had developed symptoms of anxiety, PTSD, and the constant feeling of being watched. It was a truly horrible experience for the once famous Twitch streamer, and even though he has tried to move on to other platforms like YouTube and Mixer, the trauma from the incident still haunts him. If you love this video, then you should definitely check out this video on the most disturbing movie accidents.